official that all votes taken today will have to be verbal since we are in a hybrid situation. So.
Trustee Chafee?
Here.
Trustee Bellini?
Present.
Trustee Frampton?
Present.
Trustee Hyam?
Present.
Trustee Jones?
Present.
Trustee Kennedy?
Here.
Trustee Lothar? Not here. Trustee Pape? She's not here. Trustee Perillo?
Here.
Trustee Shields? Okay. Trustee Wheeler?
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We had no one register for the public comment period. Is there any comments from anyone that we don't know about? During public comment? No public comment?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, new business. First of all, we have to approve the minutes. Our last meeting from Friday, July 23rd, 2021. Is there a motion? So moved. Dennis and Dan. All those in favor say aye. Oh, we have to know verbal, sorry. I announce it and then go on.
Trustee Chafee?
Aye.
Trustee Bellini?
Aye.
Trustee Frampton?
Aye.
Trustee Hyam?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Perillo?
Yes.
And Trustee Wheeler?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Now we will have the president's report from interim president, Dr. Dale Pearson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our meeting today. Welcome weekend. I'll start off my report with welcome weekend. Thanks to Shelley Ritzel and her team, the student engagement team, and all those who offered our students an enthusiastic welcome back to campus. It was energetic, electric, and very well done. The general feeling on campus is we're so glad the students are here. Congrats to Jim Dow, our emergency response team leader, and all of those involved in our fall return for planning and the execution. Sometimes this work has been very overwhelming, but in the end, we are constantly on top of and evaluating the COVID situation, which changes from day to day. But we have good mitigations in place, good planning process, and the team is very highly engaged in that. Many of them are in this room with me right now. Communication, thanks to Angie Burrows and her team, we've kept faculty, staff, students, and our council of trustees and local community updated on our COVID protocols. A mask requirement is in place, except when you're eating or drinking. Thank you very much. And it's required if you're in a building, your mask is up. If you're outside, your mask can be down unless you're in very close proximity to others. Isolation and quarantine. We've had a few students in isolation and quarantine, but we will prepare for that. We have a decision tree. You can see some of them posted out on the wall. Thanks to Angie Burrows and her crew, the decision tree for students and employees was created to provide general directions to all to ease comfort and to let them know what happens in quarantine and or isolation. Testing plans for the vaccination clinic details have been shared and repeated over and over regarding COVID testing plans and our vaccination clinic. The university teamed up with Walmart to offer free COVID vaccination clinic on the campus. First shot doses of the vaccine were administered by licensed pharmacists on September 2nd, second doses on September 23rd. While we do not require vaccination, we strongly encourage vaccination on campus of all faculty, staff, students, and community members and visitors. Points of pride. CM Proctor, class of 92, will be heading into space early in September in an all-civilian crew scheduled to orbit Earth for 3 days. That's pretty exciting. Betty Cruz, 09, assumed the role of president and CEO of the World Affairs Council in Pittsburgh, January 2020. Trevon Jennifer attended Edinboro in 2006 to 2011, participated in the recent Paralympic Games as a wheelchair basketball athlete, was a 3-year captain and a 2-year All-American at Edinboro's men's wheelchair basketball team. Trevon is a 3-time Paralympian and a 2-time Paralympic medalist. Mary Etter, 75 and 76, and honorary doctorate of 13, has had a pioneering military career and now retired Army Major, Army Major General, has written a book about the experience of women in World War II. Etter was recently featured in the Wall Street Journal.com story. Dr. Andrew Smith, who teaches at Edinboro's Department of Communication, Journalism, and Media, was one of 4 keynote speakers at an international conference, Revisiting Higher Education for the Post-Pandemic World, the partnership between several universities and institutes in Morocco. The conference was held virtually in June. NCAA update: our athletics programs are vital to the core of our campus and spirit of campus life, and we love much of their activities here, as evidenced last weekend with some of our games and programs. We continue working with the NCAA to go through with our plan for a full complement of athletic programs on each of the sister campuses involved in integration. We've been in regular contact with NCAA, providing the requested information, and most recently have informed them of the Board of Governors' unanimous vote to move forward with integration in the Northeast and the West. For current student athletes, we are operating as we would any other year. For those who are currently being recruited, this path will provide the ability to retain our existing sports and our students in our robust athletic programming. Communication and transparency are central to the system redesign and the integration work currently underway. We will continue to provide updates and as more details emerge. I'm grateful to everyone in the room who's been involved in the COVID reopening, the reopening of the fall semester, and the integration planning. I know that many folks have sacrificed a great deal of personal time and given above and beyond balancing the integration with their full-time day job working under an international pandemic. So I am so grateful. The dedication and energy that is essential for our campus so that we reopen in an electric format with lots of energy. We are united as a family. We are 3 sisters coming together to provide high quality access to programs and educations. Even though we're a little different in our own ways, we have a common mission. We're strong, we're resilient, and we're the best teachers in Pennsylvania. Thank you.
All right,
The next.
and then there's an order of succession resolution. The interim president Pearson recommends approving the 2021-22 Edinboro University Plan of Succession Resolution.
Move. Do we have a motion to move? So moved. Second. Any discussion about the succession plan? No? Okay, we'll go to a verbal roll call.
Jason,
Aye.
trustee Bellini,
Aye.
trustee Frampton,
Aye.
trustee Heim,
Yes.
trustee Jones,
Agree.
trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
trustee Perillo,
Yes.
and trustee Wheeler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, calling in from his office as he's in other meetings as well. So the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Michael Hammond.
Thank you, trustees, and good afternoon. We have no action items today from Academic Affairs. I did want to point out a few highlights from the Academic Affairs report that is in your portfolio. And if you haven't had an opportunity to look at it, I do invite you to do that when you can. That report highlights multiple student recognitions, including some great accomplishments by recently graduated students. I just wanted to highlight that we have our first students in the business program that are receiving the SAP Student Recognition Award. This semester, the business program has for close to 2 decades participated in the SAP University Alliance program, where SAP is one of the most used enterprise resource planning software systems in the world. The program that we have embedded within the business department allows these students to be qualified to receive SAP certification, which is a very highly marketable credential. The report also highlights multiple accomplishments from our faculty. Many highlighted in this month's report are those from the art department and the English department. However, I would also like to call some attention to one of our faculty, Beth Farbotnik, is our assistant chair in the nursing department, and she just recently completed her Doctor of Nursing Practice. And so I wanted to publicly congratulate her on that accomplishment. Otherwise, in terms of other activities, the Edinboro Beehive, which specializes in branding and strategic communication, has continued to have some good business despite the COVID-19 and has remained very active. The report highlights some of the different organizations that the Beehive has provided assistance for in terms of new business and small business support. They continue to work very closely with the Erie Public Library and the other universities in Erie County. And we're looking forward to extending the good work of the Beehive at the new university through the Clarion and California campuses as well. And so we are in some discussions about that. Lastly, I did want to point out Edinboro has awarded just under $250,000 in WEDNET funds for 17 area companies during this past cycle. Edinboro has done this for many years and is very pleased through its continuing education and workforce development division to provide these resources and manage them so that our regional companies can get this funding for training of their employees. And with that, it concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions for Dr. Hannon? Thank you, Dr. Hannon.
Thank you.
All right. Finance and Administration, Vice President for Finance, John Hines.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Chafee and trustees. Within the finance and admin team, the accounting department completed and submitted the financial report known as the FIN report, which is our annual report for the year ending June 30th, 2021. That same department has been working to complete our annual audit and appears to be going well with field work nearly complete. This past Monday, our budget director, working as a team with budget directors from Clarion and Ncaa, submitted our consolidated plan, which is a multi-year budget. In the first quarter of our fiscal year, our facilities department began moving faculty members from Dearborn to both Alexander and Hendricks halls in preparation for the eventual demolition of Dearborn. At the same time, the facilities department was also moving people and books out of the library in preparation for the DGS renovation of that building. The same team also began planning for the building, for the bidding and execution of many Key 93 deferred maintenance projects that you'll be hearing about in future COT meetings. Our IT services group has been busy implementing network security to limit rogue devices from connecting to our production network, while our software developers began working on changes to our Alumni student information system in order to prepare for one program array and one student information system spanning 3 integrated universities. Despite those massive challenges, those same software developers stepped up to write the software code to allow our new point of sale system and dining services to speak to our student information system, door access software, and housing software. In an effort to protect our network from ransomware attacks that impacted other PASHA schools, IT services has installed Microsoft Advanced Threat Protection Systems on over 1,000 devices. In order to support the new mask mandate, which changed right before school started, our IT services group jumped into high gear and installed 18 classroom PA systems and upgraded the audiovisual system in the Macomb Fieldhouse to support that start of the new year. And in the thick of the integration work, our institutional research group, who will be moving to a new VP, has been working tirelessly since last October to file the complex substantive change paperwork with middle states. They also laid groundwork for institutional effectiveness of the integrated university. They led the engagement work for change management for the university. They led the team on housing data governance for PASHA and built a template for PASHA's review. Worked with IT services on the new student information system. and provided survey assistance for several integrating teams while still providing unprecedented support for the budget team that was working on the CPP filing. So thank you, special thanks to institutional research for that. Today, Finance and Admin has three action items for you. One, we're asking you to approve the fee schedule with the change in the price for the student application fee so we can align with the integrating universities. We're asking you to approve the fiscal year 22 budget and asking you to approve the updated and revised resolution for demolition of the underutilized and obsolete buildings. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions? All right, may I have a motion for the first action item? So moved. Only second. Any discussion? Right, we need to do a roll call vote.
This is the fee schedule.
On the fee schedule, no, we just approve. Yeah, we're doing just the fee schedule, I think.
Yeah, this is
As
just,
we're virtual and hybrid, that one,
yes, okay, so
we got
this
the
is,
instructions.
all right,
that we gotta do.
just, I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood
Right,
which ones
fee
we're
schedule.
doing, okay. All right, so trustee Chafee?
Aye.
Trustee Bellini?
Aye.
Trustee Frampton?
Aye.
Trustee Heim?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
yes,
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Perillo?
Yes.
And trustee Wheeler?
No.
Second motion, please, on the action of recommending approval of the fiscal year 2022 budget. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion? All right, roll call vote.
All right, trustee Chafee?
Aye.
Trustee Bellini?
Aye.
Trustee Frampton?
Aye.
Trustee Heim?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
aye,
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Perillo?
Yes.
And trustee Wheeler?
Yes. And the motion, please, to recommend approving the revised demolition of underutilized and obsolete buildings. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
second,
Was that?
that was.
was Danny,
Jones?
Danny
Okay,
Jones.
thank you. All right, trustee Chafee?
Aye.
Trustee Bellini?
No.
Trustee Frampton?
Aye.
Trustee Heim?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
yes,
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Perillo?
Yes.
And trustee Wheeler?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, university advancement, please. Assistant Vice President for Advancement of the System. Thank you.
Good afternoon, trustees, Dr. Dale and colleagues. I'm very pleased to be with you today to present the Advancement Division Report for September. I have no action items this afternoon, so I will just cover some highlights from the report and upcoming events that I'd like you to be aware of. We are just 2 months really into the fundraising year, so we're very early. Year to date, well, actually year to end of August, we raised $108,213 from 374 donors. That includes 975 gifts, so again, multiple gifts from individual donors. Gift in kinds are growing again this year. That's normally related to fundraising events, and we have seen a return of events this year, as well as athletic sponsorships. So as you know, last year we put athletic sponsorships on hold, extended all of our agreements for a year. Those are now expired and we're working on new. So we will see by Q3 and Q4 the addition of new funds for athletic sponsorships. 2 major fundraising events that occurred in the month of August were Erie Gives Day and Crawford Gives Day, both days of giving for the general communities that we serve. We participated in both. Erie Gives Day on August 10th raised over $30,000 from 89 donors. This is, we've been participating in that program since fiscal year 18, and it have increased the amount we raise each year. We surpassed our goal of $25,000 this year. So we're very pleased. We'll continue to participate in Erie Gives Day. The proceeds benefited the Student Hardship Fund unless otherwise designated by the donor. We also decided to enter Crawford Gives this year, which is a 2-day giving campaign in Crawford County, where we have a large saturation of, or high saturation of alumni. Total raise was just a little over $1,000 this year from 9 donors. We got engaged about 2 weeks before the event. It was a good way for us to get engaged in it. We'll continue to do this in the future, but we really didn't set a goal this year. Our goal was just to participate. Again, those proceeds benefited the Student Hardship Fund unless otherwise designated. Our annual athletic fund is hitting mailboxes as we speak, as well as emails and video campaigns that are associated with that. Our phone-a-thon team is back. They're being trained and activated, so we'll have a full year of phone-a-thon activity, which is fantastic. It's an important strategy for raising, especially annual funds to the student hardship. We've been continuing our efforts to improve data health and integrity of our alumni database. As we approach integration, we want to have the healthiest data that we can. So we continue to make investments of time and resources in that area. We have had a few stewardship events in the last couple of months, and one of which is the hospitality tent at Sox Harrison when we have a home game. So on September 11th, we'll celebrate again on October 9th during homecoming, and then November 6th. So we do encourage you to participate in that if interested. The Pesci Foundation will meet with us on campus on September 24th, and we will compare strategies for fundraising at the system level and fundraising at the local level and how we support one another. The trustees have been asked to participate in a session with Pesci so that you can learn more about the work that they're doing. On September 30th, the Women's Philanthropy Council will hold a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new tree and plaque commemorating the founders of the Women's Philanthropy Council. We have a series of activities scheduled for Art 100 to wrap up that celebration through this fall semester. There's a combination of events on campus and off campus. So we're hoping that those off-campus events, we're working with our student engagement division so that we can provide transportation to and from those downtown Erie locations. One of the events, the return of the Erie Film Festival, which is hosted by the Northwest PA Film Society, will be held at the Erie Playhouse, and they're in conversations with our animation and our film department so that our students can be engaged in operating the film festival. Homecoming will continue to be planned in person. Most of our activities are outdoors, so we know that that's probably best case scenario for keeping everything safe when gathering large groups of people. We have a host of events that are outlined on our website. The webpage for homecoming is edinboro.edu/events/homecoming. One of the events that we're paying particular attention to is the Alumni Barbecue, which will be held on October 8th at 6 p.m. We'll celebrate the classes of 70, 71 and the Lambert Bowl Championship team. Registration is available online. Our Distinguished Alumni Awards event will be held in person, although we're going to do a little videography ahead of time with some of our awardees this year. Because not everyone's comfortable coming back. So we will have a presentation that includes some videos that we can capture. We will celebrate 13 Distinguished Alumni awardees and recognize the contributions of Bill Campbell from the class of 74, who owned Campbell Pottery for over 30 years. The affiliate reports for the Edinboro Foundation and Edinboro Alumni Association, I will defer to Trustee Hyam and Trustee Frampton to give those reports, but both organizations remain very active. They both have completed their fiscal year 21 audits and submitted those results to us for our files here at the university. Both are scheduled to meet again in October and then November. That is the completion of my report. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amanda. All right, so Marketing and Communications Vice President Angela Burrows.
Good afternoon, Chair Katie and trustees, Dr. Dale and colleagues. Marketing and communications priorities since July, so focus on integration, our fall return plan and COVID protocol. We've kept students, faculty, staff, parents, and other constituency groups informed of these issues, providing updates in a variety of formats across multiple communications channels in an ongoing way. I want to recognize my team, one of whom is here, Chris Fury. They've done a tremendous job with COVID, with integration, and everything else. So they work tirelessly and deserve the recognition. It's a good team. Integrations related communications have involved close collaboration with our colleagues at Erie and CalU. We work to synchronize efforts and ensure our respective campuses receive relevant information when they need it. Our admissions mail flow. With the admissions recruitment cycle well underway for fall of 2022, deployment of our admissions mail stream has begun to ensure that prospective students at various stages in the college search process receive information they need to assist with their decision making. And those are both digital and print pieces, a multitude of them. Annual advertising plan. We work with BD&E, our agency of record, and RJW, their media partner, on refinements to our advertising plan for the new fiscal year. The plan is reviewed annually and adjusted based on demographic and media trends, as well as data supplied by our admissions department, so we can best reach our target audiences. Here are some key changes this year for our undergraduate advertising strategy. One, we've decreased spending on traditional TV and cable with an increase in our streaming services spend. We moved in this direction last year and will be making further changes this year. We're spending more with YouTube. We'll have fewer billboards in both the fall and spring in the Pittsburgh market, reduced from 14 to 8 during each run. And we'll be moving those savings to Twitch and TikTok. TikTok, most of you are probably familiar with it. It's a short-term, fast-growing video sharing app that allows users to create and share 15-second videos on any topic. Twitch is a community where streaming, gaming, and pop culture meet social media. Millions of people around the world use this streaming service to share their games, cooking skills, and lifestyle. So people actually are on Twitch to watch people play video games. It's a popular tool for marketing products and services, and is especially appropriate for Edinboro, given our highly ranked game design program and esports, as well as animation. So what we're doing with we're focusing our ads appropriately for the channel. So with Twitch, we're highlighting our animation program and game design. It's just one example. The Borough magazine, the summer fall issue of the magazine is at the printer now. It'll be mailed on September 24th. The theme for this edition is the catalyst, which we thought was fitting and timely for multiple reasons. We're excited about this issue. Lots of great stories, including a feature on Dr. Karen Spichel and our DEI efforts. That concludes my report, and as always, I welcome your questions.
Any questions? Okay, there's none virtually either. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, coming in virtually is the Interim Vice President for Enrollment Management, David Dolans. Welcome, David.
Thank you so much. I apologize for missing the first part of the meeting. I was with our colleagues at CalU and Clarion, talking about the new global online program and initiatives. We have a really exciting partnership with Arizona State University. So a lot of really exciting and great work happening there to to support enrollment growth for our online ventures, both undergraduate and graduate. So, but I just want to give a real quick high level overview. I know there's quite a bit of detail in the report that was sent already, but I'm excited to share that we actually ended census up a little bit in our new first year incoming student class, about 1% increase, although it's a small increase, it still is an increase given the times of COVID that we had to deal with and the fact that we weren't able to follow our traditional recruitment models and travel. So I know our team is very excited to be hitting the road this year in a more traditional fashion, although certainly not as robust as what we typically experience. I'll also mention too that our new incoming transfer student figures are actually up as well by about 5%. So that's really encouraging to see transfer student enrollment uptick. And that's an area that we've really focused in on with transfer scholarships, as well as working with transfer credit and having our team work closely with many of the community colleges in Western PA, but also in the southern tier of New York and Northeast Ohio. So we're seeing a positive trend there. We have a number of on-campus visits that will be coming up here in October as well as November. So a lot of those visits are geared towards specific academic departments, but we also have general on-campus tours as well as open houses. And so we're seeing really good activity in registrations and signups. And we also are now live with our fall 2022 application. And in fact, we're seeing a lot of robust activity through our partnership with EAB, but also through the common application. So I'll have more up-to-date numbers probably by the end of this month as we start really tracking year over year for fall 22 towards the end of September. Our financial aid team is working hard on, or was working hard, is still working hard on getting disbursements for financial aid out to Edinboro students. And so just met with the team earlier this week, and they're starting to see a little bit of a shift now in setting up for registration for the spring semester and setting up for spring 2022 financial aid processes. And then all of our teams are working diligently on integration planning. So right now we're working on a number of tier 1 workflows related around application processing, name buys, on-campus visitation programming, and then just how we're going to support our incoming students in fall 22 across all 3 campuses as part of the new university. So I think all in all, given where we've come from in the last year, it's a really positive enrollment report to see it really hit slightly up in our new incoming student figures at the undergraduate level. And that concludes my report. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take those.
Questions for David? Any questions virtually? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next up is the executive committee representative reports. Dan, you got 3.
Okay, thank you, Bart. First of all, the Alumni Association. I attended their meeting this past Saturday. They approved they had an audit, they approved their audit for fiscal 21. The thing they got going on right now is the golf outing. They took it over again this year as a fundraiser. And basic stats, they're sold out. In fact, they have an overflow going down to Point of Culbertson, so they've got an overflow going over to Riverside, which is a nice job, a nice thing that. Paul Bailosh came up with the idea of selling raffle tickets at $25, $500 or $25 a piece, which is a monumental task. But if you know Paul Bailosh, all you gotta do is hand raffle tickets and get out of his way. He sold them. I think they're all sold. If not, there might be a few left. But he's giving out $5,000, 25 right after the outing, 25 that evening. So from $12,500 for the tickets, he's got a $7,500 profit. So it's quite remarkable. Yeah. Again, kudos to Amanda, the way she's turned that thing around. You heard me give these reports 4 or 5 years ago, and I had nothing but bad things to say about the Alumni Association. Someone said I'm about as subtle as a sledgehammer. I'm not sure what that meant, but I took it as a compliment. But she has her hand on the pulse of that. She understands the people running it, or the alumni. She understands the people that make things happen. And she also understands people that don't make things happen. So she's done a great job with that. I think they now have a much better understanding of their role with the university, which I think is probably the most critical thing over there. So that's the alumni outing, or alumni association. USI, not a lot of change there. Ray Fisher's done, I think, an excellent job. They got the most solid board, one of the most solid boards I've ever seen operating. Ray has had two things come out of it in the last 3 years. The first thing that came out of it was the quick transition from hardcover books to electronic books. Pretty cool, because hardcover books makes a lot of money, and they still, so they steered their way through that. He's effectively downgraded to the people working for him, business-like. I call it business-like, because he did what he had to be done. In fact, I was over there, I stopped over there Saturday morning, went over to the Highland Festival after the alumni board meeting, and walked in there, and he had 2 girls in their place on the right. He was running the cash register, one on the left, and somebody went there. So he doesn't overdo it. So I think there's no problems there. The PAC, we have not had a meeting since our last meeting in July. Things are very quiet with the PAC right now. We're going through this, obviously coming up on the naming. We have a meeting on 15th of October, and I think is that the naming date? I think that's the same.
The 12th of October.
Okay, so that should be interesting. I've been appointed to the advocacy committee, but we have not had a meeting yet, but I've been had that appointment. So that's it. Anybody have any questions or thoughts, anything I have to say? I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dennis Brenton, Foundation Board meeting. Report.
For the foundation chapter, at least makes my job easy. He always publishes a report, very thorough, but I again want to compliment him in the foundation helping the university. They either had a meeting or going to have a meeting on the issue of food insecurities for our students, and they'll be working with Michelle Weitzel on that. So they're always reaching out and finding new ways to help the university. It's really appreciated.
Thank you. So, yes, Mike.
I have one question. Dennis, I've seen there's a food bank at the first floor of Towers. Is that a community food bank or is that a for student food bank?
I can't answer that.
That's a community food bank at Towers.
Because that's open to anybody, not just the Edinboro students.
Yes, that's open to the community.
I thought that was a student food bank, but I didn't know. Thank you very much for.
Yep, you're welcome.
Where is this? Michelle talked about a university food bank. Where is that located?
There is a secondary food bank specific for our students, and it not only carries food, but it also carries some other essential supplies, hygiene items, things like that. That's located in Erie Health Center. So there is the students can participate in either. They can utilize either, but there is a student-centric food bank in Erie.
Okay, could somebody text the trustees if we want to donate to that, how to do it, what to make the check out to and so forth?
Absolutely, I will do that.
Thank you. Okay, before we entertain a motion to adjourn, so our next meeting is actually a study session only, Friday, December 13th for the Council of Trustees. We will wait till closer to the date to make a decision of whether we do in person, hybrid, or all virtual. So there are challenges, of course, doing the hybrid. As you can tell, I feel like we're leaving some of our trustees out sometimes. We're trying to watch them all the time, but we'll make those decisions as we get closer to the date. May I entertain a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
I never have to ask for a vote on this one, really. So we're good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.